Welcome back, everyone. We have some teams to analyze in this video. There will be a Q&A one later, and also Scoop and I are going to be going through a buy, hold, and sell tonight. So plenty of videos out there. If your type of question, you've got one there ready to go, then hopefully it's answered in these three. And if it's not, just send me a DM on the Discord there or in those YouTube comments ready for that Q&A this afternoon. So we start off here with Matty Damon, who has his terrific team set up, and he's got plenty of improvement in the last sort of 10 rounds there, which is great. You can see by this chart that he's put together, which is awesome. And he did ask if he's ever going to see the guns again and bring back the biff. The guns are out for today's one, braving the cold for years as always. Just like the little memes he's got together here. It's happening. Everyone stay calm. Everyone stay calm. He's surprisingly doing well, up to 780 in the rankings. Has used all of his trades now. So the one available this week was Pap to Latrell, and that's completely fair. And an easy trade to use with the 4 trades to come after round 20. So what we see here is a team that's in a pretty solid position, right? Captain Cleary over DCE is the big question here. So he has said that, Manly's up against Dragons, Panthers have the Sharks, and we know that Cleary, it doesn't matter too much who he comes up against, so we can make that point a little bit mute. But DCE can go nuts against these types of teams and put on a bit of a cricket score there like they did last week. So I think that they're pretty even this week. If you want to captain either of them, you can. I personally will probably go in Cleary if I have that option, but that's just because he's done it for such a long time and is always really, really safe. Has had the week off of rest as well. I think that's going to be very helpful for him, with DCE had the big Origin game and then backed up a few days later. So whatever that means, I think it means a little bit there for sure. Happy with the trade. One left. You had to get rid of Paps. Latrell's a good one. Or you could go Teddy or Doueihi. But if you want to save a little bit of cash to upgrade to the guys you're looking at there, I know you said you've got potentially, was it Aiken? Who else do we have there? Said a few there. Aiken, a few other potential guys. Obviously you got Cook. Yeah, a few guys to potentially pick up and have stuffed up the last few weeks with guys like Matto, Cook, and Paps. There is Teddy, Grant, and Aiken at this point. So yeah, if you want to get to those guys, 124k in the bank is going to help you rather than getting straight to Ted, for example. Latrell has similar upside to Mr. Teddy there, for example, but Teddy's obviously a bit more consistent than what Latrell is. He's come back with an absolute bang. Can he keep it up? I think he can. But thank you for this one here. I always appreciate you, Matty D. All right, T-Chan. Questions here. I'm trying to push in the top 500 in a good position at 670. Plenty of trades remaining, so I suggest the 4 trades will be great. Pap out, Mam, Frizz, and Brayley are all decently keepers or just below. Frizz is struggling a bit at the moment, obviously. So Ponga, Booth, Murray, and DCE, all amazing upgrades. Get into it. Use those 4. I think that's a great option, Mr. Chan. All right, we got Choo Choo here, bringing in Cam for Pap this week and Doueihi for Ramsey. I think that's pretty solid, man. You get a mid-range guy that's made plenty of cash for you, up to a potential keeper, underpriced keeper that is, and Cam for an injured Pap. Very, very simple. One Cook, we can't fit him without blowing the last 2 trades. Yeah, and you've got Reed and Harry. I think it's better to upgrade elsewhere where you need it rather than that one. So good trades there. All right, tough to see this one, but thank you for sending this one in. Manfeld Johannes. 4 trades remaining, 48k in the bank. Thoughts on these trades? Option 1, we got Mam, Pap, and Reedy out to Booth, Trell, or Doueihi, and Cook. Second option, Hosking for Booth, Pap to Trell, Garrick, or Doueihi, and King to Offer or Harris. So basically, he thinks here that option 1's better because you get Cook in, for example, which you don't get in number 2. But number 2 gives him a full 17. So you can see here on the bench, he's got 4 guys that are injured or out, and that includes Hosking, makes it 5. So if he doesn't trade out Hosking, he doesn't have a full 17. And when you got Polle in there as a player, I think you need to do option 2. Even if it's not as good, you don't get the complete guns, you need to actually have 17 playing. Otherwise, there's no real point having that there. But thank you for your love and for watching these videos and sending that in. Appreciate it. Okay, we've used 3 trades here. In this team, we actually had an awesome round 19 rank of 38 last week. So spectacular round. It'd be cool to see what you got, but obviously having Doueihi and Latrell and DCE is going to do that with Garrick and Joey Manu as captain. So congrats to your week. Puts you down to 231 overall rank. Thoughts on the team with trades running low? Yeah, so those trade-ins are great. Obviously a lot of people are targeting Latrell and Doueihi, Aiken, Garrick, Manu, these types of players. You have Cleary and DCE, so he's set up really, really well. Boothie could be used as a potential player as well, week-to-week basis, getting around that 40-odd in the 60-odd minutes. Brought in Cook, Booth, and Doueihi. Oh, he's got those 3 in this week. Okay, for Hughes, Walters, Brayley. Yeah, great trades. Will clearly be the clear captaincy option. Yeah, I think so. Him, DCE, Damien Cook, all great options there if you would like to. But awesome week last week, man. All right, the Shummaster, 635 in the overall rankings, which is great. 6 trades remaining, 400 in the bank. All right. Main trade out targets are guys like Kola, Mam, Taumalolo. You can see it with those three. They're all obviously doing pretty well. Taumalolo's a borderline keeper. So with the 400k, I would probably try and upgrade 2 guys if you want to. You have enough trades to potentially do a Taumalolo upgrade and like a Mam upgrade or a Kola. So both of those guys, whichever one you have. Well, obviously, Kola's a bit more expensive. So you could upgrade to, yeah, you could do a doueihi, for example. Do a doueihi if you wanted to, easily, from Kola to doueihi. And then you can go Taumalo up to an 800 or so thousand guy, like a Cam Murray. That would be a couple of the options I would look at. Obviously, you got, do you have Murray? Oh, you do have Murray already. So, yeah, so you can go one of the guys you were looking at here. Obviously, Cook would be ideal. Gives you some cover. If you can get to him, Grant would be awesome as well. So Grant and doueihi, probably easy, the easy 2 for those guys, and leaves you a little bit more in the bank for there. But yeah, happy with the trade potentials there. First season playing fantasy. Thanks for yours and the Discord's help. Yeah, shout out to the Discord for helping this young man, Hines NRL. Let me know your thoughts on trades, and should I captain Hines, Cook, or DCE since I plan on bringing him in? I think either Cook or DCE is your man. DCE probably has that little bit more upside. Trade out to Penasini. Oh, wow. Yeah, you need to get rid of him, unfortunately. Barnett, Ramsey, maybe Savage, and Offa this week or next. I think Offa's fine. He'll be good. With still no signs of Twile back, I think he's fine to keep in the side. Potential trades, having 4 cash outs is risky, but willing to do it. Also feel like Booth can get me good scores. Yeah, I don't feel like Booth is the worst option this week, just because he is getting that start now, and he played really well, so I suggest that he's going to continue keeping his spot, and that 60-odd minutes would be pretty safe for him. It was his first game, so he has maybe potential to get up to 80 as well. Do I have good enough cover for all positions? Well, let's check that, hey? So you got the hooking covered, you got middle and edge covered with Barney, if you're trading him out, potentially not. So DCE, doueihi, Wishart. I wouldn't be looking at Wishart, but I understand why you're doing it. We've got Penasidi traded out. So in this case, you've got middle and edge. You've got definitely middle coverage. You'd have edge coverage because you can move Crichton. Yeah, that part's fine. In terms of the halves, you have not great coverage considering you have Hines in there. DCE would come in. Doueihi, sweet, that covered. Yeah, you're all sweet, man. No stress on that part. And yeah, trade outs are completely fine. I understand where you're going for. Barnett obviously had the 70-odd last week and the 30-odd. We knew what he was going to be like with that up and down type of scoring. So that's that. Go the Warriors. We have 4 trades remaining. Dropped a couple of ranks last week. Just didn't have hooker cover. But you live and you learn. Yeah, it happens sometimes, unfortunately. Trades this week, I'm unsure, as I have several targets like DC and Munster, Murray, Haas if good, Doueihi and Latrell. Awesome. Possible trades, Paps to Latrell or Paps to Doueihi, Mam to Doueihi, Hughes to DC and Munster. I feel like both are really good. Obviously, if you go that first one, the second one, you get the DCE as a clear gun for the rest of the season. Doueihi, we're not sure exactly what's going to happen. He's obviously cheaper, and you could do, that's obviously going to help you there. And then that's good, just getting calls from Colombia. Anyway, just have this feeling the trouble go on. Try scoring frenzy with the season turbo. You can definitely do that for sure. What's your opinion on these or possibly others? Yeah, I think they're both fine, man. I think you can flip a coin, to be honest with you. I like either way. In terms of what you might need, you do have a lot of cheapies. So Moale, Pole, Hosking, there's 3 there. So you're not in the worst position. You got Ramsey and Savage, Mam, the guys you might want to upgrade. So potentially going the cheaper route could be better. Hanging on to someone like Hughes, but yeah, he could obviously go really well or not. We don't know at this point how he's going to go exactly. Yeah, but enough trades to kind of do a few of these moves. But you can do that slight upgrade from Mam to Doueihi to Latrell, these types of things, and get that underpriced keeper. So you can still, if there's injuries, you can trade to some of the top guns for sure. All right, Tonga Schlongen. 9,097 had a great round 19 rank. Well done last week. Want to bring in Doueihi, think you upgrade Mam to him. That's perfect. Haas back this week. Awesome. Needed that. I was thinking of going McInnes to Munster. Mam to... Everyone's on this fascination of getting rid of McInnes. I get he's on the bench, but he's still getting the minutes that he was when he was starting. So, don't see the issue. But, yeah, anyway. Mam to Doueihi. Going to bring in Cam Murray instead of Munster, but miss out on him by 3k. Ooh. Yeah, I think Munster's great too, so not a big issue there. Unsure as to what my next move should be as I'm playing head-to-head and have finals coming up soon. How do you think who do you think would be a good trade in? Was there any good upgrade or downgrade options? Okay, for head-to-head, you want to keep a few trades in the bank. I'd say probably leave over the next 2 weeks, maybe make 4 and leave yourself with 6 for the last 6 rounds. I think that would be the best way to go about it. But what you need to be doing is getting the best player in each position. So you don't have Cleary. Cleary needs to be in your side if you're a head-to-head player, so be working to get him, moving Hines back down to the wing fullback position and leaving Kohler or someone there as some cover would be ideal. I think that would be the person I'd be looking to move up to if you can. And then other than that, obviously guys like, you could do Munster, but I would probably try and get to Cleary instead. I understand he's a fair bit more expensive at 140 more, but Cleary's the top dog. And as a head-to-head player, you're going to need him. If people that you're playing against have Cleary's captain, he has those 100 weeks, you're going to be very sore and sorry. So that's the way I'd be trying to build up to. And if you can do that by bringing in some cheaper guy like a Doueihi, then that could be the way to go. Maybe it's a slight downgrade from one of your guns when they get injured to get a Doueihi. That might be the way to go. It might not be getting Cleary this week, but it might be building up to him over the next few, would be my theory. Black Pasta, 69 overall rank. We've been talking about his team the last few weeks. So just a quick update here. Not sure what I should do this week. I do have 4 trades, so one wouldn't hurt. Thoughts on the team? Can do Kohler straight to Doueihi, but leaves him with 0 in the bank and no centre cover. Yeah, I'd probably keep the centre cover, to be honest. Want to bring in either a Doueihi or Murray in, just don't know how. Yeah, so the team's pretty good, obviously. Guys like Barnett, you need to be on high alert with. You have 3 current cash outs. I wouldn't be popping in any more. But the rest of the team looks good, man. Like, it's really just Barnett. You'd hope that he gets a better score. You've got guys like DC, you got Cook, you got plenty of good guns in the wing fullbacks. You got the 2 best centres. So you're in a great position. I just don't think that you should force it this week. I understand why you might want to, but the only option if you wanted to go for like 4 cash outs, you can go for Booth, who is playing, but there's a risk on, and obviously picking him up as well, and that could get you up to one of those guys if you want. But yeah, I'd be trying to keep your centre cover for sure in this team. But overall, you're killing it, man. Sim in for Victor. Mam and Ramsey sells soon. Yeah, definitely. You have used 2 trades, so you still have enough after this week. Pap and Hosking to Mitchell and Booth. I think that's solid. Bring in another cash out. Probably wasn't the best idea, but Booth has potential. Yeah, so I think that's solid, man. There's definitely a risk involved, but making that trade is fine. Also, when May and Kohler sells anytime. Kohler probably the next few weeks, but he's still scoring really well. So anything in the 40s for a centre that covers wing fullback as well has been really, really good. Should upgrade Metcalf or Moale? Nah, I think you're just going to leave them there. They're too cheap to do anything with. Kennedy is someone that you could do some movement with, given he's 350 now. Keep that in mind there. For next week's, all right. Love this one. Just changed everything to superstar amounts of points and overall score and overall rank at 1, which is all wrong. So, but the rest of the team is correct. How good's this thing? And the emergency's 5. He's got hot, and he's named Jamie Brown, the Cowboys, at 999k, given a 1,000 score there. So he's got questions for my dad, JBKFA. Thoughts on how the team's looking. Thinking of bringing in Scoop, but the price tag at 10 million just seems a bit absurd. Yeah, I agree. He's great and all, but 10 million. Where's the room? Where's the room for Jamie and all the other players? Do I play Jamie Brown after his 1,000 score? Definitely. You could loop him if you want. You got Volkman. You could loop. You got Schnackenhausen there. Needs to be traded out. How many arm days does it take to create those guns? I'm going to go with, let's say, 12 years of training. What would that be? Twice a week. Is that 100? 12 years. There you go. 1,200 arm sessions. Can you do that? Might take you a while. And are you single, baby? I'm always single for you. There we go. Let's move on. Oh, let's get the wrong way. Sim mid for Victor. Harry Go Grand. Keep it simple this week in my questions. I'm going to go with this as the burner account, by the way, as well. You said it was your friend's account, but I'm going with the burner for sure. Who do I move Pappenhausen onto? All right. In this one, you got Latrell, you got Doueihi. Both either way, simple. You can upgrade elsewhere. Do you use both my trades this week? Is it worth cashing out a McInnes or Tamalolo to spend the excess cash next week? I don't think so. But in terms of your cash outs, currently you have only the 2. So you could do it for sure. Considering you got a good overall rank, you're in a good position. I think you can. Up to you if you want to. But I would probably use the 2 trades now if you're going to do it, right? No point cashing him out and not using the money to upgrade. And I would captain Cleary. Love the videos as always. And shout out to Scoop for his help in the Discord. He is a legend. I appreciate him very much. Okay, 875 overall rank for two of us are Shrek. We have 4 trades in the bank. Plans to use 2 to 4 to upgrade my middies and underperforming players to guns. Traded options are Frizz, Brown, Kohler, Ramsey, and Mam. I think Kohler's the hold out of all them. Ramsey doing well enough. Probably is making a little bit more cash, so you can wait a week on all of them and then upgrade. I think once they get to about 500-ish, it's probably worth the trade. Trading targets are Murray, Doueihi, DC, Munster, and Burton. Cool. So you need to work on getting them. In terms of your cash outs, you have 2. So I think you can cash out one of these guys and use that extra cash to upgrade Frizz, I think would be the way to go. And you can probably go Brownie as well to get to like a DCE would be cool. You already have Cook. You already have Grant. So you've got the cover there, which is good. Who's the best hold out of these 3? I think Kohler the best hold. But he is the most expensive, so you could use that cash if you need to. Play it by that. If you need the extra $40,000, then get rid of Kohler. If you don't need it, maybe hold him one more week. But yeah, obviously Ramsey scored a couple of decent ones in a row. Also, 5 to go, guys. We got a 1196 overall rank here. You're running low on trades. Attempt to use both this week. Thoughts? It could be fine. No hooker cover. I would recommend getting Grant for sure. Hughes is a hold or a sell. When do I trade these 3 out? Don't have enough trades, but just curious. Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing now. It's just moving one of them on. Do you do it? You have no room for a cash out. Really, you could trade Pap to one of those 3 that you're talking about. Either one's fine. Teddy's a bit more safe than the other 2, but if you want to use the extra cash for something else, then that's fine. Yeah, with the cash outs, you just have to leave them there and just up. If you can go Pap downwards to Latrell or Doueihi, then it leaves you some room to upgrade one of Mam, Ramsey, or Kohler. So that's the way I would go and get Harry Grant using one of those 3 for those 2 trades. All right, use 3 trades here. 2 trades, yeah. Paps to Latrell Mitchell, Mam to Doueihi. I think that's pretty solid, man. Puts you in a good position. We back at it. Didn't want to make trades, but ended up moving Garner to Fafita last week and captained him. Very interesting. Got the 63. So Fafita's going to be an interesting option. We'll speak about him tonight. Paps was a must-out this week. It was pretty hard to pick between Latrell and Doueihi, so decided to use to bring both. Yeah, good idea. Cash outs, you're sitting with 2, which is great. You could do one more if you wanted to. Yeah, you could play that one for your last one, or wait until you get the 4 and then use it there. Issue with the halves because I can't afford a DC or Munster. I was wondering if I should use my last trade and do Hughes to Aiken. Yeah, you could do that. I think waiting and potentially using on a downgrade could be ideal. Maybe you have to wait until you get those 4. Would be my play. You could do that one as well. Get Aiken, it's fine, but it's a bit sideways Hughes to Aiken, I would personally say, when you have Burton and Manu in that centre position. Playing head-to-head in first place, or second place in about 4. Our second place is 4 league points away from me. Awesome. Just need to help around what I should do from here. Do I rush in to get Teddy, especially with Chooks playing Knights, or do I need to grab Murray ASAP despite him coming back from a head knock? I don't think Murray's a must this week, just based on price. Him and Teddy, both of them fine based on price. Weighing up 2 options, Cole and Paps to Teddy and Doueihi. 1 trade left with 149. Thank you. And we're planning to get Murray next week by trading Lolo. Awesome. Or Kohler, Paps, and Lolo to Doueihi, Trollmit, and Cam Murray. 0 trades left. And we'll look to upgrade Mam by using Hosking. And or Savage just cash outs once to get the extra 4 trades. I think both are really good, man. If I had to pick one, do you just do it next week? Just do it now. I feel like you just do it now, don't you? If you want to, yeah. It feels silly not to do it now, to be honest. All right, what do we got here? AJ, long-time watcher, first-time poster. Welcome, Seba Malolo. Cheers for the content advice, legend. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for being here, and thanks for finally sending one in. You're sitting in a good position here, 846. Obviously, after that big round 19, let me know in the Discord what your rank was before this week, because that's a huge jump, obviously. 4 trades, 315 in the bank. Walker to Cleary. That's hectic. If you can do that as soon as possible. May to Doueihi, Havili to 220 red dot or Booth. Considering you have only the 1 cheapie in Pole, I think you can go straight to 220. To be honest, you can probably go to 2 cheapies and upgrade Walker to Cleary. Leave you a little bit more for an upgrade next week. If you want, or you can get Doueihi this week if you want to. All players here. I actually like this situation, to be honest with you. Hosking. Oh, no, you can only get 1. You got Hosking and Pole. All right, so 1 downgrade would be cool. I think Booth would be fine. If you have enough cash to go to Booth and still get your upgrades of Cleary and Doueihi, it looks like you'll be fine for that. Then do that, man. Use the 3. I think that would be hectic. 275 left, trade Savage, Ramsey for Murray next week. Yeah, so try and get that if you can. Just make sure that the money works out for those bunch of trades and get that one next week going. That'll be sick. Guns out. They are today. Good rank last. Oh, there you go. Here we go. Went up 3K ranks with this. Yeah, awesome. So you're just about 8,000. Awesome setup. Made 2 trades this week. All right, what have you gone for? And so you just need help. First time playing fantasy this year. Winning my mini league with the help of my overall is lacking. Awesome work. A little off the pace of squad value. So the last few spots are proving difficult. Yeah, it definitely is at this point. That's why we're going for those cheapies in Latrell and Doueihi, for example. Who do I get in for Pat? Bearing in mind 2 trades left and still 2 mid-ranges. Yeah, the mid-range is probably going to have to go when you get the 4 trades. I'd probably go for that. Thinking Doueihi and upgrading one of the 2 mids. But if so, who? All right, so if you do... What have you got? Pap to Doueihi. That leaves you with what? 140 remaining? Probably makes it a bit tough. So I'd probably leave those 2 guys for a few more weeks until you get the 4 trades and then do a downgrade upgrade would be the way to go. You just have too many cash outs, so you probably can't go straight down. You could try and get a boost this week if you wanted to. Looks like Volkman's not going to play, so you could straight swap Volkman to Booth. You get another player in there that you can pop in your 17 as well. Keep Fatale Mariner and Ramsey kicking and making a bit more cash over the next few weeks and then move them on once you get the 4 trades are probably the way. And hopefully Booth is still playing by that point. And yeah, it's probably stuck right now, but I think when you get the 4, you'll be pretty well fine. So that's that video, guys, the analyzing teams. I hope that gave you a little bit more knowledge of what to do with your team. If I haven't analyzed yours, it just gives you that little bit extra help. So that's that one. Subscribe, like. I appreciate all of you guys for being here. We'll catch you in the Q&A video. See you later.